Alright, hello YouTube. This is your generic villain here, bringing you doom and despair, uh, to bring you devastation across the nation. That's Team Rocket, I can't say that. Cramp, the villainly's gonna have a go at me. I'm kidding. They might, but you know. It is what it is. Anyways, you know the deal. New series on the channel. Sorry for the small hiatus. I've been taking a break to focus on my VR chat stuff. I still haven't fixed the green screen with the bottles. So you'll notice some bottles will, you know, they're just always going to be invisible for some reason. Like my bottle on my left side, left lower back is meant to be green, but because of the green screen, it's a bit screwed up. The yellow bottle and the blue bottle go invisible for some reason. I think that's just the green screen keying out a few things just to make sure. But either way, that doesn't matter. Today we're doing some Ace Attorney Chronicles. For you, this looks full screen. For me, this looks slightly smaller than full screen. But anyways, we're going to continue. And let's hope to dear God that it's saved correctly, because I don't want to continue this from the very beginning. Okay, let me get back into character here.
I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses in the stand. So witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention what you'd seen, that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene?
Well.
Hold it! Wait, who said that? Oh, it's just, I can't remember his voice. Hold it! Inspector Hasanaga? I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. The court will... I can't remember his voice too. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer this once. Of course. Here you are. Ah, yes, I remember now. Sorry if you can't hear my voice all too well as well. I think I need to turn the game's music down, because I can barely hear myself. So, should have really tested this out beforehand, but I think I should be fine. He did in fact act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I am actually going to turn this down, because I can barely hear my own thoughts. That's very limiting. The fact that I have to turn down, my god. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It is my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
So, you mean to say you really are a detective?
Give me a second, gang. I actually have to double check something real quick. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I wanted to check my previous recording just to see if it was actually up to decent standard. But anyways,
So you mean to say you really are a detective?
But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course, your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover, dumbass. Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then. Inspector Ozanaga, you will elaborate at one point. You elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. You've just heard new information about the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you have also been aware that this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required the witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. As I suspected. Oh. Oh dear me. Bang! As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, a gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. And so the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the bureau. It was then I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say... remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it'd be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms situation with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishwoman has been murdered on our soil. The name of an Englishwoman as the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. And so that's the reason behind the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right! My boy Pain. My boy and Ouchie, sorry. He should be Ouchie in this game. I hope to dear God we get to see more of the Pain lineage in this. Don't keep him as a child, but one possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yume University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean... When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. And the court demands that the name of the young lady in question at once, Inspector! The Englishwoman sitting in the university was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. That's a pun on something, I know it is. Nose is a pun on his nose. I don't know what he's a pun for, and I don't know what Hosanaga's a pun for. But Giselle Brett's definitely a pun for something. She's indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory at She's indeed a foreign student studying at the research laboratory of Yume University's medical faculty.
Well, what is happening here?
I admit, under the orders from the police bureau, I raised all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, in order the witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. Oh, he just forced his kid down. I like how you can see the animation side by side. I like what they've done here. This is a different change of pace from the original thing. It must now be up to your Excellency to decide how to deal with the situation. Clink. Very well, my thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Or premise, that's something like that. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection! But Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Inspector Hasanaga. Yes, sir. You will locate this Giselle Brett at once, and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency.
But that means you'll be going against special orders you were given from the police bureau.
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem? Nothing will get in my way. Oh god, he's fucking dying. I know he's been dying, but I think he needs... Get him a doctor, my god. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student, Giselle Brett, to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
Yes. Your Excellency.
Good. Then we have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Clink. Oh my god. Now we've hit recess. God, I could have continued playing. Should have. But I was getting too lightheaded last time. So I apologize for my... Sure, fuck it. I was gonna say, I apologize for my, imprudence last time. But yeah. My god. By the way, I added a blinking animation, if y'all couldn't tell, to my model. Jesus Christ. Talk about a typewriter. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there, you were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I go through this, I don't want to ever see the inside of a courtroom again. Anyways, looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at least. Huh? Miss Giselle Brett, a former student for Great Britain. Oh, not a former, a student for Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start! Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I may not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentleman. I apologize. Oh. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily been escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way to the restaurant myself, and then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. Just after I bent down and picked it up, bang. So there was two guns then. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the other gunshot had come from. The officer waited ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet. He bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he had prevented his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, because I was shut in the pantry, I had no idea what happened outside the dining area. Outside in the dining area. I think this is his professor. I can't remember the voice I did from as well. Oh, there you are. Well done, both of you. Yes, this is his voice now. Professor Mikotaba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so I would be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system, even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all that they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm a kind man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyways. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you feel that way. Kazuma? Well then, looks like this all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence, and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. And it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. Oh, he invited Professor Wilson, and Professor Wilson was proceeded to get shot. I didn't know that before. Anyways, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Ah! Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I have no doubt that the pair of you will put up a good fight, right to your last. Best of luck! Thank you! Now then, I need you to run an errand at the university at once. It's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Oh, she is so... She's got my favorite vibes.
Defender Naruto! Cold recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once!
I think they sound like that. I know they sounded a bit more monotone. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what hit them. Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed in me, then I'm fairly sure I'd have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. Ah. Sorry, I've made Ryunosuke sound a bit more female. If I'm found guilty at this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. This is the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't a battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. My hero style. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. On University Street? My fucking god. With an extra large portion, of course. Ha ha ha. Gives me very, what's the detective from AJ, from the Apollo Justice ones? The one that's often thought to have like a romantic relationship with the disgraced samurai attorney. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Ouchi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency. Oh, sorry. Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under a rather painful scrutiny from the government. Fuck me. I'm going to be fucking executed.
Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders... Oh, and our nation founders. When both break down... I fucked up my sentence. Never mind that.
Again, terribly sorry. If their friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial and clarity over some foreign government's opinion, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up, you jumped-up rookie boy! You and your friends know nothing at the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with the great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student. One would arguably study, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Well said, Ryunosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
You little brats!
Thank you, Counsel. I know it sounds like Noza, but that's because I can't remember his... Okay! The court, this court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system, and solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student for Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Yes. Your Excellency.
Wait.
Yes, Your Excellency.
He can't fucking do pain again. I can't, I'm having so many voice cracks. My god. Ooh, her pain, her...
Well, what a delight it is to have such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, from such a distant land.
Tea. Someone bring English tea in England. No discussions take place without tea. Is that true? No idea.
So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I've been working undercover as a head waiter at La Carnival. Got my truth.
Yes, we know about you already.
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of.
Oh, yes, I think I did, didn't I?
As your description for the amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but your powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking.
Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
My brother in Christ. My sister in Christ. I can't narrate that. Fancy scroll, fancy scribble. And more fancy scribbles.
Um,
There.
Again, terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What?
Oh, because they have to translate it into English. Oh, I see. She doesn't, it's English, but because we don't speak English, it has to be translated for... Ah, okay, that's actually that's really cool.
Beep beep boop beep boop beep 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 beep.
The lady says her name is Gisela Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled at Tuma University's medical facility.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear dulcet tones in the delightful language of the British people.
My boy in pain.
I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird song.
As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You'll obviously do fine in England, Cosmo. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? No, you've clearly been paying attention. Our English class is Ryunosuke. He is fucking not, dude. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Okay, now if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you have been dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? I can't... My god. She says yes. This could take some time. And so, even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. And you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? As you can see, seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught the sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Apparently it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the scene of the crime. Again, I keep forgetting her accents. The very moment when the accused, standing right over there in the courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Oh my god, I've made him sound like Mr. Crocker, haven't I? Order! Okay, order in the court!
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? We have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who are real enemy is.
What?
Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify. If you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. And she does a little polite nod. I can't wait for her to break out into full Japanese and have a fucking meltdown. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor. They got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterward, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. Ugh. I'm so sorry, I yawn quite a bit. It's by... If you don't know yawning, it's oxygen getting to the brain more. Then, not long afterward, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. This is a condemning testimony indeed. Yes! No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection! Objection! Quiet, you filthy... Wait. Quiet, you filthy wretch. And look at you, you black-hearted blackguard. Look at this Snow White angel. I'm sure even the dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe.
Ugh. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's the lesson you need to learn. Ugh, but he's annoying! Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from the lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. I would like to think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to.
Unless, until the precise location where the witnesses to have hidden the weapon can be shown, this is moot.
There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witnesses' own words on the matter. That's ridiculous. No one's allowed to lift up a dress. Oh my god. If only I was allowed to lift up a dress, I would prove it. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that. Which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. To do so, we'll need to pull her testimony apart. Oh, there's smoke. Okay. That was a tiny smoke there. That was a tiny smoke, definitely. The defense now... Okay. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. I had arranged to meet with a slightly late lunch with Dr. Wilson. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself a beef steak.
Yes!
He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because you just had a tooth away at the hotter clinic, correct? That is right. You're supposed to actually check the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard the professor was to have some dental treatment. Does that mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here? Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left.
Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have travelled to a distant island on the far side of the world, and to be embroiled with such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady, I will crush this evil fiend with which you are subjected. That has subjected you to this terrible plight.
So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right, other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes. The professor was unable to eat, so he had been given permission to drink water. It appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. I think they mean wine. A glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Ryosuke? Let's check. I mean, yeah, I can't really say anything. I'd say it's nothing for now. I can't really see anything wrong with it. Really? Alright then. That's what you think. Kazuma, do you think it's significant in some way? Well, perhaps. Let's do this your way. Okay. Let's press Yes, I never got into any argument with the professor. All I did was notice it. Just go over to say hello. Please don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing the retort at you as meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Britt does not appear to speak Japanese.
No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyways. English is future. We all must supiku Ingarishu. Speak Oh, that is horrible. Oh, we all must speak Ingarishu. That feels horrible saying that. Ugh. I wonder if the prosecutor will fill the way forever, only in the presence of a beautiful one. Oh, he's a simp. Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I'd find something to unravel that testimony, no matter how unseemingly significant it may be. Anyways, it seems that after the argument, the accused actually briefly returned to his own seat. That part ties with what you said, didn't it? Yeah. Should have some coffee to drink? Oh. No. Sorry. Stretching. Can't sit down for too long without a good stretch. And the next time he got up after that was when I'd finished my coffee and stood up to leave. The little smirk. My god, the beat is a bop. Then not long afterward, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. Yes! Yes! Like I said, I did not shoot that gun! And like I said, there's no point in repeating the assertion over and over. Well, I wasn't expecting to be attacked by my own side. Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when shot rang out in the restaurant, you had a gun in your own hand.
Well, yes, that's true. But
all I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the professor as I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at that time. The highly suspicious lady. Objection! That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel.
Dirty?
Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy. I should really put more objection. You know, a bit more of that into that. I don't know why I got so eloquent with it. I mean, it's the old pen, so I guess it should, but you know, it's got that very much so objection kind of vibes. Man did not go through puberty well.
It seems to me that your accusation is as baseless as ours.
What nonsense. The
lady is merely stating what she saw. I thought I was pained for a second. And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. I don't carry my gun myself, so I obviously couldn't have been the culprit.
Yes!
Yes! It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely. I verified it personally. You verified it? Yes, immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly remember saying, I'm not. That's all you did. You asked her? Surely you carried out a physical search, Inspector. No. Why on earth not?
The Honourable Englishwoman clearly stated that she did not possess a weapon. There was obviously no need for further probing into the matter.
Or was there no permission given for any further probing into the matter, perhaps?
Think what you will, but if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that the refined lady was concealing a firearm, the prosecution demands that you support your assertion with facts.
In other words, he wants evidence.
Ah! Beep boop beep boop boop beep boop beep.
The lady wishes to point out that of course she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation, but she was in a hurry to get to the presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Fucking smug ass log. Not to mention that, your officer told you to get the woman out of there. No, not get her out of there. I just urged her to leave. The lady would like to point out that she in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime. Which is why she's only too happy to cooperate and testify in court today, of course.
Unlike the certain student who refuses to admit when his game is up. Could you please have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you?
So she's maintaining that you had an argument with the professor at the end, which you shot him. Which is an out-and-out, totally unfounded lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in a dull black school uniform. I'm dressed exactly the same way you are, except for for flapping red ribbons. Well, anyways, this is our only chance to expose her testimonies, for fiction that it is. If we can't do that, then this trial's over. Even with your thick skin, you must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the courtroom. Only too well! I'm already half dead. The fact that I can't see a single inconsistency with her testimony isn't making me feel any better either. First thing to do is press on any statements and it seemed that slightly off to you. Do that, and an opening will present itself, I promise you. I need to expose the true face of this exotic foreigner hiding behind the mask. That's what I've been aiming for in this cross-examination. Okay, so it's... Okay.
Yes!
It was this one where... it was like... Okay, just speed through this. It's very meaningful. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, was a profound bearing on this case.
Well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing,
The significance of the statements will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be added formally to the testimony.
Well sidestepped, counsel.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you said to be added to your court in official's testimony. Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Cosmo. I'm gonna remember that one. Which one? The significance will become more apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Set chairs over a carbonated glass of water. Has been or anything but water. Shit. I mean, that looks more like wine, don't it? We both know the Ace Attorney games wouldn't allow that. This has definitely got to be the... Okay, I know this is the...
Yes!
Yes! Okay, that was it. That was it. Thank God that was it. That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. There's only one glass there, so they can't cheers. A short while ago, you spoke of the printing shown at... You spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the scene of the crime. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, it's odd, very odd.
Dear me, what is odd about this defense's inability to express itself?
Ryunosuke, what about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers.
The cheers?
Miss Brett told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Oh, give me a sec. Family member wants me. There should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Anyways, yeah, I'm back. Sorry. Ah! You're quite right, counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Objection! Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over menu tie? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make of this case?
Objection!
Objection! Menu tie, you say. Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. Dad would never do something so reckless. But then there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or aren't you going to try and tell me you can clink with only 1? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses from the table. Me. Okay. Something's getting through here. Inspector! Okay, Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that Miss Brett it would seem it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious! Okay, good gracious. Sorry. Okay, wait. Sorry. She does speak Japanese, but she's in very English tone.
There, as I assured the court before, there's no consequence at all.
Oh, please.
We must remember that the student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or two in her state of disarray?
That is absurd.
Oh, really? So do we take it now that you're going to accuse this vulnerable, young, beautiful woman of mischief?
What? No, this can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. It would seem that it slipped into a small handbag she was carrying. That's how she concealed the gun. Take us for an idiot, do we? Yes, Your Excellency, a small handbag pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. You know, just like flip open the fan.
So, the beautiful lady very graciously explained how she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that the glass has absolutely no bearing on this case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed the glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no further bearing on this case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue the matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deep significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in a handbag. There's a deeper significance is the handbag. Wait! The lady put the glass in her handbag, you say?
Yes! Do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English women carry handbags for small items.
Let's see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated that the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But she forgot to mention was a handbag, in which would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right! Well done, partner. I have a feeling you'd pick up on that too.
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? Ah.
It's simple, really. The gunshot was heard from the defendant when he picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire the gun, we can deduce it must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't be seriously suggesting.
Inspector Hosonaga! Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought! In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Giselle's handbag. Or Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
Oh my god, I love this! This is getting good! Oh my god! Order! Order, order!
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie? The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. Huh? As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. Conveniently. Shove it up your ass, Hosonaga. Fuck you. This photographic print. So you some retard! This print of the photograph is what I thought was... Who are they? See-through handbag! Are you kidding me? This print is of a photograph I thought would be improved immediately after as you can see, just Miss Brett's handbag. Fucking hell, Hosonaga. Well, I never. As you can see, and you can see you can see what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. Oh, you! So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there's no need to search the lady's handbag. You are... If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Duh! As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilty. Oh my fucking god, you are so kidding me. You are... Thank you for helping prove that no wrongs are. I would leap over the courtroom at this time and strangle him. I would leap over and I would strangle that fucking police officer. I don't care if he could have manhandled me. I would kick him in his fucking shins. My god. The court could not stop me. I wouldn't care if I get, you know, sent guilty or whatever. I would fucking break that guy's shins and it would be entirely fucking worth it. Oh my god. Such a bitch. Inspector Hosonaga, will you submit to, that print as evidence at once? Certainly, Your Excellency. The photograph of the handbag has been entered into... Fuck you! So fuck you! So many fuck yous that fuck yous cannot be expressed fuck you. Oh my god, I haven't sworn this much since, my showman's thing. By the way, if you want to see more of that showman stuff, leave a comment down below. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print was submitted to the court record, it appears to have no further significance. I'm satisfied there is no longer a need for any doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
Indeed, there is only one logical conclusion, that the pathetic rookie slumped over in the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Ugh. Kazuma? I'm sorry, I ask. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it?
I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat, while the strong eat. You are wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. As a fact that you can chew onto your heart content from the inside of your cell.
This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma. What? Is there really no chance out of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing you can do about the photograph the detective produced that we can contest, which means there's no basis on which we can argue for this trial to continue. Very well. I will now proceed immediately to ruling.
It seems I'll be able to report to the British government on time after all.
That smug little... Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Having
Yes!
all the... Yes! Wait! Your Excellency! Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
Objection! This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that this trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol in this courtroom.
Yes! Your Excellency, a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print submitted appears to have no further significance, there's no longer any room in any room of the doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. There is public evidence. Some significant detail, I mean. Then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
Objection! This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. It shows the handbag the gentleman was carrying on the day in question.
Give me a second, let me check the court record here. What is that marking on it? There's nothing really to that handbag marking. I don't think it's back to the case. We need to find a gun in this. I think it has to be the mark. That's most obvious.
All it shows is the handbag that the gentleman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence.
You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how you can glean any new information from this handbag.
My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of the rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. Very well, I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
What?
Just be warned that if I'm unsatisfied with your response, here the trial will be over with immediate effect. I'm going to save here. Yes, I'm save scumming. Please feel free to cancel me in the comments. I am going to immediately get my head bashed in if I don't do this. I've played Ace Attorney games before, I know what I'm doing when I do this. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at this photographic print Inspector Ozanaga submitted before. Identify to the court where in the print we the significant detail with which you have alluded. Right. No, there's nothing there. It's that.
Yes!
Yes! Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. Looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection!
Objection! Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say? Of the victim's wrist? Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that's a burn. That is a burn mark. You're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noted it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he did note it on his report.
What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea that the victim suffered this burn, do we? Or when the victim suffered this burn, and there's no possible way of knowing either.
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by this curious shape of this mark. However, as the prosecutor action points out, unless a firm connection between the case, this and the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on precise details of the burn. Excuse me, Your Excellency. Noticing Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean of other university and staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
What you're thinking on this reunion scheme? Do you believe that this band does have something to do with this case?
It has to be.
To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, and hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right.
I am?
If we link the burn to this case, if we can do that, then we might be able to prise the shutting door back open again.
Just give up, Counsel. You can't hope to do that.
Indeed. I'm afraid without evidence I can't really allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence that irrefutably linked the burn and the victim's wrist to the case, then you'd allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I had noticed the burn, as soon as you pointed out. What I did notice was the colour on Miss Brett's face.
Ah,
Should have noticed that too. It's got to be something on Miss Brett's thing, really.
really?
I should find something between the burn and the case. This is a moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence demonstrates the inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. I doubt it will be the same piece of evidence again. But I'm looking for like a ball shape. Oh, Christ. I'm also safe coming here. I need breathing room here. I need a safe spot. Okay. What could have produced that burn mark? Can't be the glass. Ah! Here. Okay.
Yes!
Yes! What's this, Counsel? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. But I believe these photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans took a look at the scene, we missed things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are now recorded.
Do hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be inexcusable. Yeah, I can't speak.
Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on their wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
Objection!
Objection! You can't fool us with your bluffs, boy. If that's your game, let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean.
Right there.
Yes!
Yes!
The beefsteak.
Actually, the pointer is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate?
Your Excellency, are you alright?
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. I couldn't do a scream properly. Ryunosuke, you genius. You're spot on. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection!
Objection! But even if that is the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have happened the day before, or the day before that. It most likely could have happened at some other unrelated time.
Well,
Objection!
Objection! Right, I think I have to do a voice the same as mine now, because I think mine and his are too similar. I've been trying to give him this very low voice, but I can't keep doing that. Sadly, Professor Ouchie, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that being extremely slim. Thank you. Thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having such terrible disaster, certainly.
But...
I would say, looking at the wound, that it wouldn't have suffered long ago, although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense has pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Give me a second, gang. I would like to apologize, chat. I needed a drink. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the blade was around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. That's neat. It's inconceivable to scream. It's inconceivable that a victim would have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating the incident for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. The dead weight of Le Carnival. I can testify to that without hesitation. Sorry, having some bourbons.
You're a detective, not a waiter!
Yes!
Oh, sorry, you can hear my munching. There you have it. Something isn't right. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on the piping hot plate would, for 3 whole seconds, would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day or any before it. That's right! And strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor carelessly laid his wrist out on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day. That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us, without question, would have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I don't believe it, Renosuke. Do you think? I'm really sure. I would dread for you to arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of that makes sense of this apparent possibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already deceased. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible, apart from one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes. It's only possible that the man was already dead.
Already?
Dead? Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead.
That's madness!
Man, I love the pains. Order, please. Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous plot by the rookie student. But clearly, he has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
Objection! No, Professor Ouchie. It's you who have no grasp on the facts.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered the burn while at the restaurant, his whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Sorry. Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, we now believe that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard. It's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett. You'll have to forget about your luncheon engagement.
But Your Excellency!
The justice system in this country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I'm prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency. What was that smile? Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
What? Miss Brett, you speak Japanese?
Well, of course I do. I am studying your country after all. But then why haven't you been speaking through an interpreter until now? My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentleman, I try and avoid speaking in your vulgar tones. Oh, racism! Racism! Yes, racism! England on top. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be cheering my much for racism. No. No. But it seems men in this time possess none of these chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I have to will myself to communicating with all of you on your own level.
Ah! Oh. Well, you are the epitome of a true English gentleman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you graciously afford us.
I see. Well, in that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of victim Dr. Wilson. Okay. Little cutscene. So we're gonna finally hear in our own words. We're finally gonna hear from our own words in this matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Finally, I'm gonna kick your ass. Unfortunately, I have no idea what the poor man burnt himself on a wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's any other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please, do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Oh, racism, again! The Great British Empire for the win! My neighbor's actually gonna have a go at me for this. Fucking hell, I'm not... That is the most captivating, beautiful testimony that will go down in this court, in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you. Easy does it. I hope that this is the last time I'll have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your Jesus Christ! Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. I would knock you out.
Not at all, not at all. It is a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant.
I'll be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today.
The Minister of Justice.
May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Oh! Christian racism as well! For the win! Thanks? Was that a prayer then? Well, you have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett. But you, and put up with the cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, Counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination for this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Yes, Your Excellency. Ooh, professional with it, smooth with it. Out with the racism. The racism ceased to be. Fortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our...
Yes!
Yes! As you testified before, you were drinking a carbonated water, is that right?
Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at the time, if you remember, which explains why he ordered that drink. Correct, waiter?
Exactly as you say, sir. Although...
Although?
Whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I do not remember that. Damn you.
Ah! I have enough English to understand that, at least. For the benefit of the others, it means bless you.
I think it means the exact opposite. Anyways... As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible death besides gunshot.
Yes!
Correct. How did you have access to that? Yes, it's written here that in the paperwork, fatal hemorrhage from a ballistic trauma. Yes.
Luckily for all of us, this little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. There was no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate other cause of death. it only been from the bullet from the gun that put from your gun that put the end on this innocent man's life. But that doesn't make sense. If the burn must have happened straight away, then the plate must have first been brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. Though cool even slightly wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. If the victim burnt his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point. Objection! And yet, the fact is remain that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Unless you're absolutely able to show the court evidence to prove that, this is a complete waste of time.
I concur. Prosecutor Archie is right.
Ah!
There's any... I think I have to go around and press the last few statements. I fucked up there. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I don't know. Something about this could be hard work. She can speak Japanese brilliantly, but she doesn't seem to want to say very much. The more she says, the more likely she's likely to give away. This English woman knows that only too well. She's quite formidable. Dr. Wilson's burn tells us something, I'm sure. I need to use this cross-examination to find out what. First things first, I'm going to press her on everything she said to try and make her blurt something out. What is it, Kazuma? What are you thinking? Oh, don't worry. It's nothing.
Yes!
Yes! Without leaving a trace. If someone is shot or strangled or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on their body.
Quite right, dear lady. As the police force has thoroughly examined the body deceased, I can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga?
As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There'll be physical traces, that's true. But there may also be some other way to kill killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone exactly how you think the Professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Oh no, perish the thought, calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. On my honor, I, Takatsuichi Ouchi, will cut any down who dare cast such aspersions.
A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. But of course, this country's inferior...
Yes!
Press on that. Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the land of the Great British Empire, the police store found everything for a later examination. But in this country, we basically investigate everything at once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
Quite right. The Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident.
Exactly. Which means even if the investigation takes place in a different direction, vital evidence must be lost. Doesn't it occur to you to your naive detective to try to preserve you at the scene of crime? What's going on there? He has a thought. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand?
Killer blow. The lady is formidable as she is beautiful.
Amazing! He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie is finally starting to see some sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. The moment before, when something didn't seem quite right. Oh, okay, wait. I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not getting anything to turn up any new information. Yes, as I suspected, she's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony. Or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean... I have to find a way. There must be some clue here to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma. What were you asking? There is one thing I noticed. Something has been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brent? Actually, no. About the person standing right next to her. Inspector Hosonaga. The detective? Yes. He seems to react strangely when Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try passing on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. What do Kazma's thinking? I'll find out sooner or later enough, I suppose. I must press Miss Brett's statement one last time.
Yes!
Yes! Inferior? What do you mean by that? The land of the Great British Empire, the police store, yep.
Quite right.
Wait.
Oh. Yes, there it is again! The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective's only been the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But the things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful to not let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find often they'll let their guard down. You're right, look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry, pursue. I'll explain how to do it now, really. It all has to do with this this witness marker. At the moment, we focus on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement. But moving the marker left and right with A and D, you'll be able to turn your attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with space. If you catch the person at just the right time, you might be able to uncover some new information. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people in the stand, take a good look around. Alright, so you should first move the marker across with A and D, then focus on the detective, then pursue him with space, and see what's on his mind. Here we go! So you're taking this direction. Life hasn't been any loss.
Excuse me.
Yeah, what's the meaning of this? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts deeply. It looks like you were thinking of something just now, Inspector. Perhaps you've heard what the lady next to you had to say. If there's something you'd like to say, please share it with the court.
Objection!
Objection! What is the meaning of this? It's the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with their testimony, then the cross-examination will be over immediately.
Oh, is that how that works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement made by Miss Brett? Well, yes, if you don't mind. I would like to speak. Oh, Brett's getting angry. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as they used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you mean? What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. Crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this for example. The what? The carbonated water, quote unquote.
Is that...
Is the bottle of carbonated water that took the victim's table to take question? And yes, it lost all its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone else says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be amongst the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it. I can say I can't say I can condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. Miss Pratt, can you confirm that this is indeed the bottle which you drank from the day of the victim's death? Yes, it was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered that judge's question. Press her on it. Very well, counsel, you may resume your cross-examination. And will the inspector kindly control his fervor? Unfortunately, I have no idea. No, I want to go back.
Yes!
Yes, shit, I think I fucked up. That statement contradicts it. No, but, as far as I can tell, there is nothing here untoward about this evidence. But that... Pull yourself together. Look at your eyes are about to pop out of your head. Ooh! Well, at least I got to see the animation of the, I can't help that, it's just my look. Witness statements. That's a great idea of yours, Carlsman. Well, it was all thanks to noticing that detective, very strange what the lady said. I never guessed it was all about that bubbling away under the surface. To be honest, you keep surprising me at every turn. Sorry? Oh, never mind. So, we know that Dr. Wilson was killed around the time that the steak was brought to his table. By some means, there's no physical trace in his body. We could just demonstrate how it was done. I have one idea about that. About how the professor was killed. Maybe I should just present the evidence and see what happens. Okay.
Yes!
Yes! What is this? Is this a bottle of water? Okay. Actually, there's one method of killing men without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison.
Poison?
On the day of the death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from the bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Order! 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 And on that day, he was sitting at the same table as the professor and was able to put poison into his drink. There's only one person who possibly could have done it. Giselle Brett! It was you!
Objection!
Objection! This is outrageous. To suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you considered that delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty? Objection. This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt in respect to one crime. Where?
The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are to determine the truth.
Ugh.
If I may.
I will silence you forever. Shut up! It is you who should be silent. Of course. Shut up, dear lady. Where did that come from? She just snapped. Ugh. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. Shut up! Okay. I offer my most humble apologies.
I am sorry, my lady. What are you referring to?
I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector. And whether it contained poison or not.
Of course. Sorry. Of course. You did? Have you forgotten my guiding principle already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time.
I don't believe it.
Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents.
And what did you find, Inspector?
I had a test for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We find no trace We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? You sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the Chief Coroner himself.
No!
I am very grateful to all of you Japanese. You successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
Ah, but of course, dear lady. The pleasure was all ours.
I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place as if he was poisoned. Thank you, Counsel.
The cross-examination has clarified everything.
As the prosecution have asserted, a gun shot to the chest. I shot to the chest from this gun. It's the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only culprit. I'm done for. This court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience that was caused to you, Miss Brett. Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask counsel for the defense. Do you have any further evidence you wish to present at the court at this point? Kazuma? I'm sorry, Inosuke. I have nothing. Wait, what if she took his glass instead of hers? Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving.
Shut up. Okay, I really must be leaving.
Hold it!
Hold it!
Ooh. Please, wait. Is that? What is the meaning of this? Forgive me for intruding upon court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense. Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package, wrapped in furoshiki cloth. Okay, I'm gonna have to end the episode here, because I have to edit this and then post it on YouTube. But thanks for watching, y'all. This has been your generic villain here, bringing you despair and doom! I want to actually see an Ace Attorney game where you take place as the culprits. That would be really cool. Or as the prosecutor, at the very least. Well, actually, I kind of already do that with Objection.lol. Speaking of, you should really check out Objection.lol, if you like Ace Attorney games like this. Where you can pretend to be the judge, the witness, the prosecutor. You can also make little animations as well. I posted an animation about custom sprites I made, as in Councilman Payne and the old bag judge. But you know, either way, if you like my content, like and subscribe, or you may get a visit from me as I wrought inexplicable destruction upon your home. I had to really think of that one. But yeah, save my current progress. Okay. But anyways, thanks for watching. I've brought you Despair and Doom. No, 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 shut up. G. Back to title. Anyways. Don't save. Well, actually, bugger it, why not? Thanks for watching, guys. This has been The Great Ace Attorney. And, feel free to watch again, you know? I enjoy seeing the views on my videos. It's all real fun. It's all real cool. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.